today I am bringing you a slow-mo. I don't normally do this at the beginning, but look at these papers. Wow. These are from a company called Paper Rose. Paper Rose, that's what they're called. I think just Paper Rose. Oh, let me just check. Yeah, just Paper Rose. That's their name. They're an Australian company, and these are made in Australia, printed in Australia, the whole deal. These are called Inky Antics. I bought the 6x6 collection, but you can also get it in 12x12 if you wanted it to be larger. Now, I do not have any alcohol inks, but the video is not doing justice to how bold and striking these papers are. I love them. When I'm in a bright mood, I want to do bright. When I'm in a floral, subdued mood, I like the laces and all that sort of stuff. So I like both sides of the coin. And this paper pack did not disappoint. It is amazing. It's beautiful. So now I'm going to speed everything up. So I'm speeding it up purely because I want to leave the process in. I keep saying it, but it's something that I want all my subscribers to know, that I don't want to edit the living daylights out of everything so you think that I magically click my fingers and it all comes together. That's not how it works in the real world, in the scrapbooking world. So what I actually did is I chose only two of the 6x6 papers, and I decided to cut them in varying widths. So there was no science involved here. It was literally just zit, 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 get it through and cut varying sizes and widths. So what I had in mind for this video was a starburst, but not the starburst you've seen everybody creating, which I love, and I still want to do one of those, don't you worry. But I wanted to do something that I wanted to put on paper, when a kid does something, this is going to sound really funny and feel free to laugh at me. When a child does something and they sort of go, shabam, or da-da, that's what I wanted to put on paper. I know that sounds so strange, but that's my process. Sometimes my inspiration comes from ta-da, and that's where it came from. And when I saw these papers before I ordered them, that's what I thought of. I love the fact that I can have a mixed media look with acrylic inks, with alcohol inks, but none of the mess. I'll be honest, I don't own any alcohol inks because I personally don't think that I would get a lot of use out of them. This, on the other hand, I think I would get, I'm going to be able to create with these. This is going to be awesome. So what I did is I've cut my white background to 11.5 by 12 for my CM album. And then I've cut a 1/4 inch border in black, and I've come in 1/4 inch all the way around. So you don't see, it's just shy of 1/4 inch all the way around because I raised the border up a little bit. What I wanted to show was, and quite intentionally, this is another example. I wanted to do a second example of, if you didn't take many photos, this is how you can make it look more by using the same photo. Just zoom in a little bit. This is another example. I did it on my Anzac Day layout, lest we forget. and I wanted to do it in colour so you can see that it's not just something you can do in black and white. So this is my brain process, okay? So this is, I left this in because I want you to see how crazy it looks initially in my head. So nothing's glued down, nothing's stuck down anywhere. This is just, I was creating static with this paper for some reason. It's not plastic, but it was, I'm really not, I know it was windy when I was doing this, so it could have just been the static charge in the air, but I was struggling to separate the pieces of paper, and I have really bad fingertips. My fingertips aren't as sensitive as they should be, and I struggle sometimes to pick things up, but you can see by this is my process. So I just sort of plop it all down and go, okay, yeah, I can make this work. Okay, yeah, all right, okay. So then I dump everything off again and start again, start fresh. So what I've done is I've gone around and I've put my photos down, but so I've gone around and I've done a border so I can see where it ends around the outside. Now, that being said, I changed my mind and I decide that I want the starburst, so to speak, the burst, the wow, I want it to actually go all the way off the page. I want no boundaries to the exciting wow factor of this. So I go around and I add as many, see, I cut that one a bit short. It was after I did that I realized, no, I want this to go all the way to the edge. It's not a problem. You really don't even notice it at the very end of it. But so I skip forward a little bit. These are the parts that I will skip in the editing process just to make it a slightly quicker video for you. So what I'm doing here is, let me see. Yeah, so because I've cut the two different pieces of paper with the bright colours, I'm trying to line them up so they're not so much next to its next corresponding spot, if that makes sense. I wanted some of these lines to be quite thick, some to be quite thin, and I tell you what, I'm so happy with it. So happy with it. Sometimes I do, see how that piece that I just put down, see how it looks like it belongs next to the one next to it? That's where I realize I don't want that look. I don't want it to be the same. So, and I am using my Nuvo Deluxe glue, Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, they call it. I am using it for this because, as I said, I think this is where this glue will be useful for me because it doesn't tack straight away. You get a little bit of wiggle room. So this is where I'm slow. I have sped this up, believe it or not. So it did take me, most of my pages, a question I did have was, how long does it take you to make your pages? I'll be honest with you, one of these pages generally takes me, because of the videoing process, if I wasn't videoing it, I could do one of these pages in 3 hours, maybe. This particular page I could have smashed out in 3 hours easily. But because of the video process, so I have to try and make sure that it's something that you can watch and follow on and copy. Because by all means, that's something else I wanted to say. I've had a few people ask me if they can scrap lift my pages. By all means, that's what this is about. That's what my channel is about. It is all about me sharing what is stuck in my brain about, all different pages, colors, textures, all of that. I want all of that in video format so you guys can follow along. You can take bits and pieces of it. You can take the whole thing and scrap lift the whole thing. You know, I think there is nothing more of a compliment than someone saying, "Can I scrap lift your page?" I mean, that's why we do this, isn't it? You know. So while I'm still putting this down, I also go through here and I'm about to switch over to it. Right, here you can see me with some gold. Now this gold is actually the Paper Rose Studio Gold Basics 1.1-C paper. It is an entire page of gold chevrons, all go same size, same everything. Now you can see off to the left there the width that I've cut from both sides of this chevron to make it more narrow. It was 1/4 inch wide. See there, see it's 1/4 inch wide, but I actually cut it down because I think it looked too wide with my other strips. Even though my other strips are varying in size, the gold chevron was too wide, but I wanted the gold hit. And I like the fact that the chevron pointing out from the photo, it makes that wow factor even more. Imagine, I'm trying to articulate this, and honestly, I'm struggling. I'm trying to articulate, you know when a baby, maybe it's a bad, you know when a baby throws their arms and they're sort of like, whoa, that's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to sort of, when my daughter won these ribbons and in a competition and she got a trophy and all of that, it was one of those moments. And anyone that has anything to do with female gymnastics, boy oh boy, it is a cutthroat world. It is so hard. My daughter, man, Jen, she does an amazing, amazing job. For us to say we're proud of her is a colossal understatement. She blows our minds with what her training that she does, her abilities, her dedication, her team spirit, her team camaraderie. She never ever leaves one of her teammates if they're feeling defeated. She will always, she's very humble. We've tried to instill that in her because it is, elite sport is so hard. And while this competition wasn't a sanctioned event, it's hard, like, wow. If your child's got a talent and you see them get knocked down because they're just not winning, that is the hardest thing for a parent. But it is also the most rewarding feeling when they achieve, because it's not easy. It is so not easy. But yeah, so that's what this page is all about. I'm trying to use the colors and use the gold and the wow, because we were really taken back by this. I mean, this photo was taken quite a while ago, 12 months ago. And yeah, it's awesome. Back to scrapbooking. Now, this gold, so I left this bit in just so you could see. Doesn't that feel good when you see the cutting of the edges and you cut it all off and then you go, all that, right, get rid of all that. So I swear I use my Cricut scraper for that more than I do anything else. Truly I do. Okay, so now you can see it's starting to come together. So you can see I have put a bit of foam behind the photo. Now, just to raise it up a little bit. Now, I did want to go around, and I'm just doing the faux stitching on my border because, and I'm using my Uniball Signo Broard pen in white, and I just think it makes a black border pop beautifully. And because there's it seems like there's so much going on, I didn't want you to look at the black border and go, oh, that doesn't look finished. You know, sometimes when we're doing a page, we pull ourselves back because we go, oh, don't just throw everything on there. And then there's some pages where you go, if I just chuck a bit more at this, it could look amazing. And that's how this page worked out. I was really, really happy with it. So that's my border. Okay, so then I go around the border, and this is my craft foam that I get from Spotlight for my Aussie peeps. I just go to Spotlight and grab it. I have found though, I will be honest with you, I love it. I love this foam. It works, craft foam, not a problem. Now, I have found, I think it's from, where did I find it? I think it was Scrap Boutique, maybe even Craft Online. I'm not sure where I saw it, but I think it's a Making Memories brand, and it's the thin strips already done for you. So it's awesome. Now, winner, winner, winner. I'm using Twisted Citron Distress Ink to half colour the bottom of this. Now, I used my Cricut to cut this out. I was originally going to use my new Tim Holtz die set, but I wanted it to go around in a circle. Now, for it to go around in a circle like that, it's just so much easier to do it on your Cricut. If you want to know how I do this, or how I did this, if you're not sure how to do this, I'm more than happy to do, I was thinking about calling it Karren Shorts, just all it is, all I want to do is just do a quick sort of over the top panning down onto my laptop just to show you exactly what I click on to get it to happen. I do not profess to be amazing with my Cricut. I did leave this on this mat a little bit long, and it's sort of grabbed onto the mat a little bit. But again, see the mat? See how it's broken? This is still my broken mat from, these are the knockoff ones that I got from Amazon. It's not the Cricut brand, it's another brand. It's just, I don't even know who makes it, but it's fantastic. It is super, super sticky. It's working a treat. I didn't throw this mat out because what I am learning, it is so much easier to work, especially lining up things like this, when you leave it stuck to the mat. I used to always really struggle with that, but now I am getting better. I was thinking I needed a template for this, and then I thought, you know what? You got this, girl. You can do this. You don't need a template for this. So, see, I'm still thinking I need a template. Good Lord. Talk about not having any faith in yourself. Sorry, I just needed a drink. My throat is better. However, I still have this cough issue. It's actually asthma now, and I think it's going to my chest. Happy, happy, joy, joy for me. So it's at that point that I realize, and this is something, okay, so this is where I realized that my other glue, my art glitter glue, so much better for this. It really is. This glue was so squishy. It just oozes out, and because I've done the ink on the bottom half of the letter, I was hoping it didn't wreck it. It didn't wreck it, It didn't do anything, but you can see the glue that has squirted out. Now, several people have said to me that this dries matte. This glue dries matte. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Okay, so, oh, sorry, I had a big coughing fit then, had to stop. So what I was saying was, after I put this down, I ended up using a sprinkle mix, which they call it Crazy Confetti. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough again. So I glue all this down, and then I go to town with Crazy Craft Obsession Crazy Confetti in the colours Wicked. There is, honestly, these things are just gorgeous. Absolutely love them. Gluing down my border, gluing down my border. I don't want to cut this stuff out because I really think that I really want you guys to know that this is how long it takes. And what else? So here's my sprinkle mix. So I just dumped it into my ink tray, and I just go to town adding the green sequins. I ended up putting green, silver, and clear. I think that's all I used on it. I'm just looking at the page now. Yep, clear. I did put one. There is one sort of silver metallic. It was a big one. I put it over near the word winner. I put it on there, and then I realised I didn't want to go down the path of putting all different colours on there. I just wanted the green ones on there. The green ones and the clear and silver ones. The clear and silver ones are really tiny. Sorry, I'm playing with the packet now. I'll put it down. Whoops. So I went around and I did that. And then I did, it just adds sparkle, honestly. Everyone that I watch, and I do it too, we all do different sprinkly bits. Splatters are wonderful, but this didn't call for splatters. This page looked very intentional right from the beginning. Everything on it's intentional. Now, so what I ended up doing here was using my Ebony Black Nuvo crystal drops, and I went all around on the black, and I just gave little dots all the way along just the black strips. And now they've dried, it just looks so good. It's just these tiny, and I went around the outside edge because I didn't want people to think, looking at this page, that it was a mistake that the beams were popping out from under the border. It was actually intentional. So then what do I do now? So now I'm just giving you the close-up, and so that's it. So I would love, if you haven't already subscribed, I would love you to subscribe to my channel. I am absolutely blown away with the support that I've received from everybody. This is brilliant. I'd love you to leave a comment down below where you found my page. That would really help me out, knowing where people are seeing my work. And thank you so much for joining me, and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have already, thank you so much. I seriously appreciate every single one of you. I'm trying to show you the depth there, but it didn't work. Okay, thanks very much, guys. Bye.